Hi, welcome to our channel. My name is Jiaxing.
My name is Chong. I'm a creator of Oink Ramen in Seattle.
And today we're gonna share with you, as a small business owner, how we survive through the COVID crisis and how COVID bring to us. And so let me share the background of us a little bit. So we opened a ramen shop 5 years ago in Capitol Hill, Seattle. And on that time, the business is always improving, always getting better. We never worry about the sales, the revenue, right? Just open the door, always have some people want to come to eat. We and on the same year, we also own the Seattle Times, and then that one also helps a lot for the local business. And all of a sudden, 2020, the COVID hit, and all of a sudden, it's just no business, no people everywhere. So because of COVID, I also want to say is like, if you have some money, when you do some investment, you also need to diversify. Don't put it in the one bucket. Always have some saving on hand. And the COVID is because like affect everybody. So the government give out a lot of grants. For example, they have a PPP, they have SBA loan, they have some local and state grants. So when you hear about this, all this opportunity, you have to react fast, right? If the application link open today, right now, you gotta go to apply right now because you don't know if the money is limited, and because everybody want it, right? You have to apply as much as possible. It's just a bunch of form, right? And if you can do yourself, I think it's faster and efficient, right? If you apply as many as possible, the chance you will get is more. And the second of all, right, is like the expense, right? You have to think about all your business. What's the biggest expense you pay every month, right? I think restaurant is rent or labor. And on that time, everybody, your employee is all on the unemployment benefit. So I think labor, if you can work yourself, right, the labor is like yourself, we just like to own the work. And sometimes I call my employee to come back to help a little bit. And then second is the rent, right? The rent is another big thing. So when I have a PVP, right, PVP have some amount allowed to pay the landlord. So I always pay my landlord on time and the full amount. I didn't ask any favor or something, right? Because I think if you want to negotiate with somebody, you have to behave like really good, right? It's like your landlord don't want us to go because we're a good tenant. We don't have any issue. We always pay rent on time. So on the COVID, where he can find people like us, right? So they rather cheaper to give to us to save some pain in the ass in future, right? So it's like when the government give you money, you just pay them, and then at the end, I want to negotiate with the rent. For example, if you have some number in your mind, like for example 2,000, right? Sometimes maybe you don't, at the beginning you don't give 2,000, right? You say, oh, maybe 1,500 or something, and then you still have a room for each other to negotiate back and forward, right? Give some room. And also it's like, and also another thing is don't ask too much, right? So you cannot ask today, oh, you want to do outdoor, and tomorrow you want to do something, and you always ask landlord to help, right? So you only ask one time, and it's a big thing for you to survive. And then most of the time, maybe they will say yes, right? But you cannot like ask like many times, and then they feel like you're so annoying, right? So and also
To the end of the day, even though a small business having a problem, it's the same thing that landlord having a problem. Right? Everybody struggling. So to the end, they are doing a business, you are doing a business.
Correct.
So you have to understand each other, right?
Yeah.
It's not about, oh, well, now I got this problem, you have to help me. But they have a problem too, you know. If we want to doing business with somebody together for a long term, try to put your shoes into other people,
Mm.
right? Not become a good partner, good supporter. You have to share. You have to
Yeah, you both
care. Yeah, you know, you have.
compromise a little
Yeah,
bit,
you know.
and then they will say yes to your
You know,
what you request.
you know, as a doing
That's
business,
how I
yeah,
feel.
yeah,
That's-
family together. My family all doing business. The way they're doing business is a long term of relationship.
Yeah.
It's not.
Or like one day.
It's not one day, and today I buy this car. Tomorrow I'm not buying a new car no more.
Yeah.
Doing business is not like this. It's a long term investment and long term, you know, customer, that long term vendor that is gonna you gonna support each other. You know, when they get a problem, okay, we have to understand. You know, but when we have a problem, they have to have something.
Yeah,
But
so
it's
both
not always
need to-
asking.
both need to support each other.
Yeah.
And then your relationship between you and landlord can go longer, right?
Yeah.
And next one is like when we get so many support, we didn't spend the money on the unnecessary thing. For example, it's like no outdoor, right? So everybody think like outdoor is necessary, right? It's like you needed to do outdoor because everybody do. No, what I think is no, because our place is like shithole place, right? So many homeless and so many druggy outside, right? Even you put like couple thousand outdoor nice stuff outside, it's like all gonna destroy it, right? And also it's like, so outdoor is like, I think my friend maybe they spend like 5,000 on the outdoor, right? And you can also Google the restaurant, how many the profit the restaurant have. They say average is only 3 to 5%, and they say a range is 0 to 15. So maybe we say 10%. That's like a pretty good situation. Everything is so smooth, right? Maybe 10%. 10% you need to work as employee, the owner. You need to work full time. For us, we work like full time. That's why maybe you can get 10%, right? So if 10%, basically you need to make revenue, you need to sell like 50,000. So from that 0 to 50,000, basically is a non-profit, right? And then after you're outdoor, you still need so much money to maintenance. For example, your employee need to spend extra hour to bring in and bring out, right? I need to set it up, and sometimes when they set it up, the stuff broke, right? Who's gonna repair that?
Yeah.
And also when they buy the gas outside, right? You need to buy the gas tank every other day, correct?
Yeah, because you just think about one thing. So if I set up the outdoor, I have a tank outside, a 2 heater, for example. 2 heater, I need to open for 8 hours. One tank, how long that tank's gonna be, and how many tank are you going to buy and put it, and who's gonna go to buy the tank? All these detail after you set it up.
Go to buy the tank. You need to go to drive to Lowe's or Home Depot, and they have all the traffic. Right? You need to go to buy it.
To set it up, to start it is easy, but to maintain become in a reality will drag you every day. Many things that you need to do. You know.
And you cannot like buy a lot at one time because you don't have place to put, and maybe it's dangerous, right? You cannot live outside. The homeless gonna burn down your shop just like that, right? And then so that's why the reason we didn't do outdoor.
In the beginning, I'm personal. I want to do the outdoor, but after that, wife gave me advice, and after that, I'm thinking back. Before we used to eat out a lot. Since the COVID hit, we're pretty much going zero. So we already, as a foodie, we own a restaurant. As a foodie, we like to go out to eat, and then we don't spend the money. Do you think other people will do that same thing? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right?
Just that time is like a tsunami coming. Is everybody drowning, right? If you keep like struggling too much, and you're gonna die faster. So when you have money, you just save a little bit and like to maintenance low as possible and to live longer than your competitor, and then you survive.
Yeah,
right?
try to breathe.
And try to breathe,
relax, and try to breathe slowly.
Correct. And just to use what you have, right? You don't have to spend extra money, right? Outdoor, just bring the table outside, right? some sunny days people can still eat outside. Or at that time it's like that time how busy you can be is like a whole restaurant only like one table, two table, right? And if you're scared, maybe you can do like a reservation 1 hour, only one table. That's like whole restaurant based in you, right? So we didn't do all that. We don't want to spend that much money and all the storage. Oh no, we didn't go through that. And then next one is when the ramen is not good food for the takeout, right? The noodle after you cook, it tastes like so bad. So when we go Costco, we see like during the COVID, they have so many prepared kits, right?
Yeah.
So we just do like cold soup with a raw noodle, and that in that case save us a lot of job too, right? Because we can only two people can work like that. I can sell like 300 or 400 a day or 200. That helps because when you do the kids, you don't need to. I don't need to open my noodle cooker, right? The noodle cooker need a lot of water, and the water is expensive in Seattle. And I also don't have that many stuff to wash, and I can pre-pack. So it's like much easier job. So we do the kids, and in that case, we also connect with our customer. We like connect them with like Instagram, right? We didn't hire anybody to do the marketing since first day, right? We believe the quality of our food, right? The people just like they mouse by mouse just came, right?
We believe on what we're doing.
Yeah. And when you do the marketing, I think another important thing is you have to think how many you can produce, right? For example, I can only produce 300 bowl of ramen. So if I do like I pay a lot of PR or something to do the marketing, and then they show up 500 people to my door, I cannot handle. Basically, I cannot produce, right? Because our food is not everything we made on the house, everything we made from scratch. And I only have one shift of people, and how many I can produce is very limited, right? And also in the manufacture of food is when you make 100 bowl of ramen and make 100 bowl and make 1,000 bowl of ramen, the things is like totally different, right?
The quality is gonna be completely different.
The recipe and how you're gonna storage all that stuff, right?
It's just gonna be
so different.
Yeah, so different.
It's not like you make 100 bowl and you make 1,000. It's like you 10 times of the salt you put. No, everything need to change. Yeah, that's why we don't want to do marketing, because we don't believe we can produce unlimited, right? It's not like we buy everything from manufacturing and assemble at our shop. We made everything from scratch. That's
everything takes times and days of get it ready and fermentation, and just take time.
Correct.
It's not something that today I run out, in half an hour I can make it. It doesn't work that way in the shop. Many things that we buy, we import it, specific item, all this stuff. It's not like.
And it's just like a so simple thing is like you buy stuff from the Restaurant Depot, right? Is that you cannot buy that many meat because we only have that 3 refrigerator, right? The place you can put is really limited. Yeah. And then if you make 1,000, if you sell 1,000 bowl, you have to like go like more frequent. And who is gonna go? When is gonna go? Right? It's everything you need to change. So we never do. We just like we grow very organic.
Really slowly. Just take step by step.
Slow and organic. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
And and that's it. And then the next is after COVID, we feel like our business running more efficient, correct? Because right now we are more saving on labor, and we invest some money on the automatically equipment. For example, we buy egg peeling machine from the Yamato manufacturing, right? That one save a lot of money and the time. For example, my Seattle minimum wage is like at least 17 or 18, right? Plus the worker compensation, unemployment, and the payroll tax is basically 20 something, right?
We spend around 18 to 20 hours before COVID per week. Just that person peeling eggs.
Yeah.
And then we had to cook every other day.
Correct.
We used to open 7 days a week.
Not even mention
Yeah.
you need to waste the water.
Yeah, the
You
time,
need
the
to wash
water,
the
you know,
pot, right? Just right
all
now,
that thing you are not
all that thing
calculating. Yeah.
count money,
Yeah.
right? So even we buy this machine $5,000, right? So every week I can save like $400.
Yeah, because this egg peeler can peel 500 egg for 1 hour,
Yes.
and that machine never complain.
Yeah, never.
I just
gets
press
sick.
the button and it just peel.
And then
That's
you
it.
won't break,
You know,
right?
it's
You break less.
efficient. Yeah,
it's
it's
efficient.
an efficient that is a technology.
Correct.
You know, can replace many things. You know, to moving forward to make it more efficient. You know.
And then we also like work more hour in our shop, right? To like before I only work at the front, right? I never worry about the kitchen. So it's like right now I work more, so maybe I can use second eye to see what's the problem with the kitchen, right? Where we can improve, how we can communicate with each other, right? So sometimes right now things little by little, if you be there more hour, you can find some problem out, right? And that's what we feel like a COVID bring us. And also what we do stuff is like always right refine.
Yeah, because I believe in making ramen. Why traditional ramen shop can become today who they are and become why so popular, even though after they open outside of Japan, is because that ramen shop since the beginning of their open that shop is only selling these items. For example, it's like Ichiran only sell tonkotsu ramen and with the spice that they do, and if I'm not mistaken, Ichiran has been exists for almost 30 something years, and that recipe is being keep the same way, and I believe in they just keep refine until you just cannot copy. That's it. There is no way you're going to go there and I say, oh, I want to make like what Ichiran made, because you're not going to able to achieve that level, because the noodle, how to make that noodle, you have no idea what they've been go through and how they've been making until today to matching the soup that they are making. It is something that is, I believe, in the ramen cooking philosophy and ramen culture. How you going to make a very good ramen? Just keep refine and to make one thing and just keep making better and better and better, because to the end, as a me before I open the ramen shop, I just a ramen junkie. I just love to eat ramen. Yeah. So when you're going to eat the ramen, you are hardly going to go to eat today this ramen shop. Today I'm gonna go eat this shio ramen. Tomorrow I'm gonna go change shoyu. No, you're gonna eat the same thing. But the thing that's gonna blow your mind away is like, how come I feel like every time I go, that ramen tastes better? How? I don't know. But I don't think I'm tripping out. But must be the owner, the chef, they be doing something to keep refining, to make it better and better, because they doing the same thing every day and they going to try to make better and better, because that is the branding that they are trying to achieve. They don't sell a bunch of stuff. They only sell a couple things,
And then they keep improving.
Yeah, just keep improving, until when the time that you go to see, maybe you think like, this is so simple, just noodle and soup, but you have no idea what this noodle and soup been through, and how many detailed things that is been deep is being go through.
We understand.
Oh my god, it's just something that we can always chat in the next topic. How I've been doing just one thing. It's like no need to compare about tare, aroma oil. All this element is made different in one bowl, but that one bowl, every single element of what we have been through, it's an endless of failure.
Correct.
Endless of failure, endless of trying.
Yeah.
It's like
And when we refine in the process of his refining, we also always read all the review or comment from the customer, and then most of the time people say is correct. When I change something, sometimes they're gonna pop out so many new comment, right? And then you're gonna read, right?
Yeah.
And then he gonna know what's going on. Oh, because I changed this. Maybe it's in a good way, people like it, or people don't like it, right? Don't think it's like, oh, they just don't like you and they attack you. No, because yeah, they have some people gonna attack you, but most of the time, the customers say is correct. So
you have to accept.
you have to read
Yeah.
and you have to really think what's wrong with it, right? Maybe something you change and then they don't like it, and then they will know. It's all because it's all like reflect in the review they talk about. Sometimes it's correct.
Even though you are not changing the recipe, but on that day,
Maybe
probably
temperature, right?
your employee is making
Mistake.
that very very big mistake that you don't
Correct.
think that is happening, but in reality it will be happen. It's like you
That's
know,
why.
but you
Yeah.
have to accept.
That's yeah.
People
That's
say and,
correct.
yeah.
Don't take personal
Yeah.
and just say objective and then try to figure out what's going on. And then the COVID bring us is like one thing. At the end is like I want to say is like spend less as a small business enter the restaurant business. Right, spend less as possible because making back a ramen restaurant business is hard, right?
That's true.
It's not easy.
To invest a restaurant and your investment, you think I open this business going to be a lot of people. Is that in reality it's not that easy. It's
So today, that's all we want to talk about it.
this is something
yeah,
what we share about.
We share, and we just want to help somebody who have the same interest, right, to open a ramen shop or open the restaurant.
To
We
share
want
some
to give
information,
give some
share
insight idea.
what we thought about having a small business. Yeah,
Correct.
you
Yeah.
know. And because this is what we two really both and really interesting
We're
to
really,
discuss and talk
really
and
passionate
try
about this.
try to do what we are this tiny shithole place
Yeah,
to
and
become better and better. That's what we want and that's what we have passionate about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
So that's all for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we see you next video.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.